Welcome back to another episode of Lovely Little Dolls, a Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition Chronicle. I am, as always, Leah, your GM, and here we have...
Hello, I am A. I play Box, a man of the night who is terrified of the night.
I'm Frank West. I'm playing Tom Johnson, the People's Vampire.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
Robert. I'm playing Victor Castile, a helper of many and a healer of unfortunate misfigurations.
And my name is Andrew, and once more I am playing Kevin Hopkins, the Elevator La Sombra.
The idea of Elevator La Sombra is still a very haunting descriptor without context.
It works!
Sure.
Where last we left this group, they had a long conversation with the Bruja Primogen on the National Mall, where he offered to teach them some things and spouted an awful lot of philosophy. And where we immediately left them off, they were riding the metro on the way to Elysium to chat with some people and get some information. And I believe we left off with Box. You had a question. Do you remember what it was?
Hey, no.
All right then. All right then.
I wish I remembered.
I'm sure we'll remember eventually. So, you get off the metro at the Portrait Gallery station, and you are there. The museum is there. You are a block away from Chinatown. I expect you're heading into Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
The security presence has been visibly increased, but visibly only because you know to look for it. Otherwise, you think it could fly under the radar fairly well. There is a sizable number of kindred inside, and in particular, there's a group gathered around one table where you do see both the Harpy and the Keeper and assorted others. You see Lila there. You see who you are fairly sure is Scourge Malloy, as well as two others you don't recognize.
Interesting. I'm just going to head straight for the table.
It does involve cutting through a couple other groups, but they are all engaged in their own conversations and don't seem particularly interested in paying the lot of you any mind at all.
Nah, that's fair enough. At this point, I'm used to it.
The group around this table seems to consist of 4 people popcorning over an argument between 2 others.
Ooh.
In fact, it's the 4 you recognize, all metaphorically munching down on that popcorn, as the 2 you don't recognize speak in not raised voices, but not far from getting to raised voices.
Before we get close, I'd like to whisper into Tom's ear, $5 as somebody swings.
It's an Elysium. They're not allowed to.
One can only dream.
Strictly speaking, the Keeper is allowed to do whatever it takes to keep the peace. She may swing first. If things get rowdy enough.
I'm simply going to ghost past the 2 that are in heightened conversation and just head straight towards Maisie.
Maisie is sitting there,
I'm just gonna completely ghost past them and just sit next to Maisie.
Maisie is sitting there next to the harpy as usual, just watching. You can't tell if she's entertained, irritated, or a little bit of both.
I think I'm just gonna see if I could sit in the space between the harpy and Maisie and just do one of these numbers at the two that are arguing. Is this anything of value, or is this just a contest of whatever this is?
The harpy is the first one who responds, and he says, "Oh, this is an ongoing discussion. This is the... Do you know who those two are?" Do you know who those two are?
I turn to look at them. Have I seen them in Elysium since I was... since I am of the Maisie?
You
It
have
has been
seen them
for a time.
around. You don't necessarily know both of their names, although I would allow you an intelligence plus politics, difficulty 7, to remember who they are.
Intelligence plus politics. You said difficulty 7?
Yes.
I think I recognize one of those people, if I'm recalling my backstories right.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes, you do recognize one of those people.
Yeah, I stay quiet and listen.
I was gonna say, hey, given that Kevin hasn't seen her in a while, he'll slide over next to the Scourge and be like, "So, who's winning?"
4 successes.
4 successes. Yes, you remember exactly who these are. The woman is Catalina Banderas, the grandchild of the prince, and one of the few people in the city that can be genuinely said to be on friendly terms with him. And the other is Winston DuPont of Clan Toreador, who is unfortunately very, very well known for putting his foot in his mouth.
Making a note.
At
Dumbass.
identifying that, it's gonna go. Alright.
Was the question that I asked, was he manipulating me?
It might have been. You can make a retroactive, perception plus empathy. Now, let's make it intelligence plus empathy for remembering. Difficulty 7.
We could say that, like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
There is no way that Box wants to get near these people.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're
like
all thinking in a corner.
Yeah, I'm like watching. What's the difficulty?
7.
Oh, I botched.
I mean, as your best guess is, he's an elder. Of course he was manipulating you.
Yeah. He kind of like seems to think on this, sort of like sitting back, and as the two get louder, he kind of like slunches more and more and sort of drifts towards the bar of all places, and sort of like shifts off to the side, like with his head low.
The ghoul tending the bar comes over to you and says, "You want anything?"
Yeah, if that's all right.
Sure, I mean, it's what it's here for.
How long have they been arguing for?
Oh god, the argument. He checks his watch. I think they've been at this particular round of it for about 30 minutes now.
Round? 30 minutes? What are they even arguing about?
I don't even know anymore.
Oh god. Yeah, please give me something. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, what do you
take
want?
tips?
I take tips.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna. He like goes into his pocket, takes out his wallet, and starts like going through cash. Do you take cash? I assume you guys take cash.
Cash is fine. Cash is fine.
Whatever you think is best. I'm sorry, that's really vague. Whatever's the easiest to make.
Sure. And
Yes.
he mixes you what appears to be... It looks like blood coming from a dark bottle that looks kind of like a whiskey bottle. And he mixes it over ice. He slides it over to you. It looks like blood. It doesn't smell exactly like blood. It smells more like whiskey.
He sort of like swirls it and takes a sip. Does it taste like whiskey?
It tastes like good whiskey.
It's been so long since he's had good whiskey. And he used to drink a lot of it. He used to drink a lot, to be fair, but whiskey in particular. And he's like, anything interesting? Anything fun?
The argument?
Besides the argument, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the argument is, every so often, and by every so often, I mean at least twice a week, those two come in here to scream at each other.
Oh.
I think he thinks it's a power play, and she's just laughing at him.
Oh, I was asked if they were.
I don't follow. Oh no, they're not.
Okay.
No. She would
okay.
never. She would never.
Oh, okay. It's theirs. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch from like afar. It feels like there's a blast radius.
I've been watching from here.
It.
I've been watching from here, and it's honestly more entertaining than anything else that happens in here.
Honestly, you could hear it from here, which is interesting. They're so loud.
To be completely honest, if I was not on shift, I would be taking shots for certain things happening in the conversation, and I'm pretty sure there's another guy doing that in the back.
I imagine he like box turns a little bit to the left, and there's a guy just passed out on the table.
Yeah,
with like a whole bunch of shot glasses.
Yes, there is a passed out ghoul under one of the trees.
Yeah, Box is like, huh.
He'll be fine.
And then turns around to look to all the others. What you guys are doing?
Back over at the table, you have identified who these people are. It's the prince's friend and the local idiot.
I think I look to the harpy and look to Maisie, and then I go, well, I can understand the entertainment factor, but perhaps we should let them be them and trade information, or at least the rest of us could stand to learn what you all gleaned.
Of course. Let's go over there. She points to the usual couch area that's the officer's area. And she gets up. The harpy sighs dramatically and gets reluctantly and theatrically to his feet. And the scourge also follows, though much less loudly.
Yep. Join the others over at that venue while keeping an eye to make sure those two don't do anything stupid.
You can tell that Maisie is keeping one eye on them. And
I when I see everybody slide over to the couches, I do my best to follow.
Your sire, and that's about it. All the others have left. Your sire does stick around to continue popcorning.
Gotta get your entertainment somehow.
And Box, as you watch the argument, I would like you to make me a wits plus awareness roll. Difficulty 7.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Oh, fuck. Can I spend a willpower to
Yes.
get an auto success?
Yep.
I'm going to do that. Then I only have one success.
Okay. You get the impression, watching this argument, of a chipmunk screaming at the top of its lungs at a sad clown in a flawless business suit.
Like, that's what I interpret while watching these two figures?
You get a flash of that. You get a flash of that watching the argument.
He kind of like almost stumbles a little bit and almost like knocks down his drink. Not like dramatically in the like.
Yeah.
The big question is which one's the squirrel and which one's the clown.
Sort of nurses it, and he actually he tries to figure out the answer to that very question. And sort of looks between the two.
Make me an intelligence plus empathy or politics. Empathy will be difficulty 6. Politics will be difficulty 7.
I will take empathy because it is coincidentally the one that I have a higher pool in. Wow. That's a roll of all time. I got a 2, 1, 8, 8, and a 1. So that's a net 0, baby. Solid goose egg. So I can't tell.
You have no idea.
He kind of looks between the two quietly, sort of rubs the back of his neck. Does it look like it's gonna die anytime soon?
It really doesn't. Because it looks like he's getting flustered and she's having fun.
Huh. She's like, now he's like actually interested. Like he's leaning in a little bit, sort of looking at the two of them, trying to figure out which one's and which one's the chipmunk.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of steps forward. He steps away from he paces like $50 at the bar, being a nice person.
Yep.
And with his whiskey begins to approach.
All right, you approach.
Okay, do I see this? I may want to try to interrupt Box from entering the fray.
Oh, by the way, Box has like since he's got a box on, he has this like silly string, like silly straw.
The bartender provided you with a straw. Tom.
Box has a proboscis.
Tom, make me a perception plus alertness, difficulty 6, to see if you actually notice this happening.
Alright, that's 4 dice. 3, 6, 9, and a 2. So 1 success.
Alright. Yeah, you do notice Box leaving the bar and heading towards the argument.
Alright, I go over as quickly as I can without drawing notice, and I just lean up into, so close that I'm actually pushing the box off center from Box's head, and I'm like, we don't want this heat. We do not want this heat.
No, I know. I know.
I know. I turn the box to look. I don't want this heat.
It's like, okay. Is there like an appropriate place to watch? I guess. I don't really.
Watching is fine. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves with some of those crowds.
Some? Who? Which ones? Which one?
Yes.
I say, let's just say the women in my life are complicated and leave it at that.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Is there like a seating place? Is there a?
Yes, Maisie's at the couch.
He's gonna go join Maisie with you. Sort of almost like in a haze. Almost, he like sits down with like his drink, and he's like, is she a harp? Is this the keeper of the harpy?
Maisie
fuck, I should roll.
Maisie is the keeper.
Keeper Maisie.
Hi.
Hi. Are you close with the two of them?
Those two?
Yeah.
Kat and I are good enough friends. I don't know that Winston has friends.
What do you mean by?
I mean, I'm sure he would be perfectly pleasant to spend time with if he weren't arrogant and belligerent and self-centered and all sorts of other things like that.
Huh. Is he sad?
Sad? I would not call him sad. I would call him perpetually in the mindset that he is being denied his due.
Oh.
The sort that talks themselves out of the bedroom.
Yes.
Understood.
Oh, I've never heard anyone say it like that before. Oh my god, you didn't need to do him like that. He was already buried in the dirt. Maisie was building him a perfectly fine grave 12 feet deep, and you made an extra 12 just to make sure he doesn't crawl out. Good lord.
I mean, I learned from one of the best for sure, but also like he's doing it in public. He's publicly talking himself out of beds.
Is that real? Is he actually doing that?
I mean, someone who talks like that is not likely to be invited to a bed.
And his attention sort of deviates to the argument. What's a snippet of what this poor man is saying?
Now, it's a deep man's voice, but it's peaking on falsetto in rage.
Ooh.
If you will not give me the respect that I am owed, I will make you give it to me. And and she just sort of laughs in his face and then starts listing some negative qualities about him and certain of his failings, including his most recent failings in obtaining the right of progeny.
And Box kind of looks at him and goes, "Chipmunk," with no context. Starts swirling his drink. Chip. He failed to get right of progeny?
The harpy smiles and says, well, he rather publicly snubbed and insulted one of my art shows, and so when he asked the prince for right of progeny, I gave his grace a meaningful look, and he was told no. And then I asked for right of progeny and embraced his prospective child myself.
Oh!
By the queen! That's vicious. Who was the guy?
His name is Ezra Delaney. He is a rather fine artist, in fact. I understand why he was being courted by Clan Toreador, but...
Is that his real name?
Huh.
Well, I mean, he uses a pseudonym, but it is his name in Kindred Society.
That's fair.
He's actually one of the ones that we had on interrogation duty.
Ah, yes. That whole situation.
Speaking of which, that is why we're here. We wanted some of the details that came out in interrogation to maybe help catch our loose end.
So Maisie leans back in the couch and sighs and says, so we did get a bit of information out of them. They didn't know very much. Of the 2 we captured, one was too stupid to know much, and the other was too smart to reveal much.
Wonderful dichotomy.
And the less intelligent of the two has been wrangled into a position where he can grow. And unfortunately, the other has been dealt with.
Fun times.
Of
We know-
the man and the woman, which one was which?
The man was the one who was taken into our service.
Okay. Do we have any leads on who sent the torpedoes?
We know that they were brought on by some manner of secret online invite-only forum that they were brought into, where they were given information and an assignment and were paid a small amount of money to keep an eye on this place.
Of course.
The woman, she knew what she was doing. She had a burner phone. I think she must have taken Krav Maga or something. I don't know. But, she was thoroughly indoctrinated and relatively intractable.
Didn't exactly help her.
It did not. And it is regrettable. We don't like having to do things like that, but unfortunately, the security of Elysium is my responsibility, and I can't place my own spiritual health entirely above the security of this place.
Fair enough. Alright.
We did
So,
discover a bit more.
Okay.
Apparently, they were searching for one kindred in particular, though they didn't know who they were searching for. They had thoughts in their head of something to do with a devil vampire. I don't know all of what they were going on about, but that was what we got out of them.
Man,
Vampire. That's an interesting.
combination.
And they weren't worried about taking out other vampires along the way. But
there was a target. There was a
There was a
primary
target.
focus.
Yeah.
yes,
So this organization sent a bunch of college kids to stalk a devil vampire.
it
And
does
the kids
seem that
didn't-
way.
And the kids didn't realize they were absolutely put on a hook.
Yeah.
Damn.
It is a deeply unfortunate situation, and I'm glad we were at least able to save one of them. He's now, one of the interrogation group fooled him and took him with them, so.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I was able to get something else. Our runaway. I have a lead on them.
Oh, good.
And Kevin's gonna pull out like their little like camera or their little like cheap burner phone that's got a screen. It's like their face popped up at College Park's metro stop 2 nights ago. They might be
Interesting.
operating around there.
We did confirm that they were recruiting from college students, so that's not out of the ordinary for what we know. All right. Good. That's
we
a
at least-
start.
So we know at least 2 nights ago she was operating around there. I wouldn't be able to tell you if she decided to fully go to ground or if she's still part of whatever the heck is going on and they're trying to figure out where their missing people ended up.
Although, if you say it sounds like they were after specifically a devil vampire, that sounds like they already knew what this place was. So they had some leak of information already.
Yeah.
It does seem that way. We haven't figured out who the leak was, but... I don't think there's any kindred here who would betray us, but... I don't think there's a kindred in this domain who would betray us. I mean, I know pretty much everyone. I don't like all of them, but... You'd have to be suicidal to sell information to hunters.
And
Or
then
looking into cause a distraction. Looking
and
to draw away attention from your actions.
and Kevin's eyes kind of widen. It's like, fudge.
What?
I just had a thought.
Oh?
What if it wasn't one of us
Mm-hmm.
who told the info?
Uh-huh.
What if it's, and he looks towards Malloy, what if it was them?
And she leans in and says, that's not out of the realm of possibility, but it would be dangerous for them too if they're planning to keep operating in this city. I mean, you don't sell information to hunters thinking you're not going to simply be designated as will kill you last.
I mean, let's be honest here. There were a lot of different reasons for someone to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially if they're sort of lower level hunters. Either you want an enemy dead and you're willing to have yourself killed, or squashing them could give you a little bit of goodwill. You create a problem for it to be solved, just to get prowess. Or there's so many different reasons why. I mean, it's a mutually assured destruction if they're actually powerful. If they're not, then, well.
Play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
I mean,
Or they're desperate.
at this point, we have very little information, so all we're doing right now is speculating. But we do have a lead with this college campus metro exit that we could look on. Is there any other important information you got from the interrogation before we...
We know that at least these three did not know each other ahead of time. They only met last week, just before they started the work. So, and they didn't know specifically who was paying them. So whatever this group is, they fully understand the concept of a cell structure.
Okay. Good news is that if they didn't know each other at all, they may have gone out of contact, so our third person doesn't know the other two are missing, which may be enough of an edge for us to get a drop on her.
Mm-hmm.
If she never contacted the other two, and she thinks they all just disappeared into the night and went to ground, she may think she got away. And might not be as on guard as she would otherwise.
If you think everything's went wrong and you run, but you stay nearby, is that not a bit odd?
It's either she has nowhere
You have
else.
it to your local naturally.
Depends if she has nowhere else to go, or if she's confident that whatever cell she's operating with is going to look out for her. Like she reported back, hey, so and so have something happened. We had to break contact. Stuff's blown. Please get me some assistance. So
She did say she was going to a rendezvous point.
they had a rendezvous, which she broke off from once we kind of were trying to follow her. She went down into the metro to flee. So it's possible she's gone to ground, or it's possible that she's doing the best she can to go to ground and doesn't have the resources to go on the run. If we do decide to approach, we'll have to be cautious to make sure we're not walking into a trap.
Keeper,
Yes,
are there Nosferatu in the city?
of course.
Do they have reign over the tunnels?
They do.
Do you think they would know?
It's possible. There's always Mickey. Michael Hava, but he's the primogen. He kind of, if one of them knows something, he knows it. I don't really know how they do it, but he's the guy to go to if you want info on something happening underground.
Do you know where we can find him?
I could get you his contact information.
It might be in our interest to try to interact with Mickey. Do they tend to be amicable to assisting, or do you believe they might have conditions or qualms with helping in this matter?
He won't do it for free, but
yeah.
I can get you in touch with him. He has an office.
At the very least, having his contact information is not a bad idea. College Park. If we think they're a college student, maybe we can find some means to gain access to the student records.
I mean, that sounds good, especially if they took a photo for our student ID. We may be able to find our last person's name, maybe home address, maybe even close relatives from college records without even stepping foot on the campus with the right access.
I mean, heck, I've got her face. I could just reverse it. I could just reverse image search her, see what pulls up. She might have a Facebook or other kinds of social media and can track her back from there.
I don't think she's dumb enough to have a public social media.
They're college kids. Who the hell knows? One of them was an idiot.
I think the Metro card's a good idea, though.
Yeah.
I know someone who mentioned it.
Okay, we could try that. I've already got some backdoor access in there. I could try mucking about based off the timing. See if I might be able to pull something from that.
A good call, I believe.
I don't think it's worth it to target any person in particular. I think we should all keep in mind that it could be someone on the inside, but for now, the more that we single out a person or a thing, the more that we are going to be subconsciously targeting that. You know what I mean?
Cast as wide a net as possible before we solidify leads.
Exactly. So we should try to get as much information as we can. I know, I've seen it, that this leads to a thicker thread. Okay. And
more webbing left to untangle.
What have you seen?
He immediately likes and sort of backs off with his whiskey. You know, when we were talking with her, she just seemed more than she seemed. You know?
Make me a manipulation plus subterfuge, difficulty 8.
Good luck!
Curse my poor weedy man. Oh, I botched. You instantly can tell I'm a seer.
And Maisie just looks at you and says, Fox, I know you don't want to talk about it. I know someone probably told you not to talk about it, but if it's for the safety of the domain, we need to know.
Okay. Getting close, everyone, because I don't want to say this really loud.
He sort everyone
of,
gathers
looks back
in close.
He sort of looks around to see if anyone else is trying to overhear.
Everyone else in Elysium is more interested in the argument than you.
Okay. I had 2 visions on the subject. The first one was about her, and she was interconnected with. She was a loose tie tied back to a person that spanned a huge web of people. The second one I had, literally a few hours ago. Hold on, and he sort of pats down his body, and then he takes out what seems to be a really worn notebook. Mm-hmm. This thing has been through the shitter. And it sort of pulls it out of a satchel that he's got slung to his side and sort of flips through it. You can see the equivalent to Mad Men scrawlings in here. Some of them are symbols, some of them are trails of thought. But he chose the one this morning of the notes, and they seem more like bullet points than they do actual descriptors. There was a man with. It was very dark, and there was this man who was almost haloed in ashen embers, red of some kind. And then a group of people, angry, descended upon him under the call of someone off to the side. And he had his hand stretched out, pointing at the person engulfed in this halo, to be sort of enraptured. And then he turned to me, and then they all turned to me, and then I woke up. I don't know what the second one means yet, but I know that she was a part of a bigger conspiracy. But as for the other vision, I haven't really began to make sense of it yet. I think it might imply that the hunters were being guided to hurt someone specific, but I don't know who or what.
Sounds about right, especially if they're creating this devil kindred straw man that they're pointing at. That sounds about right.
Maybe the intent behind calling these hunters in was attempting to target someone in specific. Maybe you. I don't think you're got a halo of red ashes or embers or sulfur. So
sulfur.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Is there something weird about sulfur?
Hellfire and brimstone.
Sulfur and this alleged devil vampire makes me wonder if it's a straw man at all. Without the whiff of sulfur, I would just brush it off, but that's specific.
It smelled very distinct. I remember it very clearly. I don't really know what it means, though. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not schizophrenic, by the way. Just sometimes this happens. I want to make that clear. And he puts the journal and puts it in the satchel away.
The harpy leans in and looks at you with a little bit more seriousness in his eyes than you usually see. Fox, would you be interested in learning to hone this gift?
I didn't know you could hone it. Is that a thing you could do?
It's a thing some of us can do.
Are you gonna make me pay out the nose for it?
I think you might be an interesting enough point of study that I wouldn't mind teaching a bit.
Sure. You know what? Sure. I need to make sense of this somehow. If you're okay with that.
Good.
At the mention of being a sense of study, Box almost like pulls at his collar a little bit, and I don't really like the idea of being a lab rat, but sometimes you gotta take those L's.
I will call on you when I have time to teach, and I will see what we can work out to sharpen your sight a little and teach you to make sense of it a bit better. Visions are not uncommon among my clan, so I have a certain experience with them.
Okay, sure. You know what? Sure. I'll take it. Just don't tell anyone else, please. I think the court.
Of course
I don't know
not.
if the court knows.
Well, about half of the court is here right now, so...
Do they hear us? Were they overhearing us?
He gives you a look, then looks to Maisie, then looks to Scourge Malloy.
Box kind of
looks
like
back to
dips
you.
his head down
Yeah.
in like defeat. like
Evan's literally just doing a circle motion around every.
He puts
motion
his-
to
I mean,
He puts his
the
head in his
question
hands.
is, do you know if the prince knows?
The prince knows.
Yeah, no, the prince knows. The prince, no, he knows. He knows very well. So we're talking
Well, I
about
think
something
then
else.
in that case you have nothing to worry about.
It's cards on the table at this point.
I think you could safely say the cat has already been out of the bag. I
put the cat back
won't
in the
spread it
bag.
any further, mind you, but I think the interested parties are aware.
Was
The
the
cat
cat
is a house
ever?
cat.
Was the cat ever not out of the bag?
I was gonna say, I
Was
think that
it?
cat.
The harpy just leans forward, smiles at you, and says, "Fox,
Yeah.
do you really think we're in the dark?"
I don't.
Do you really think His Grace doesn't tell his officers things that are going on?
He
Oh
told.
no! And the harpy just throws his head back and laughs. He told you to keep it a secret from us, didn't he?
He said I would die. He said if you knew I would die. And I said it. Shut up, whatever. He's so embarrassed. He's got like head in his hands.
There you go.
The flaws kicking in. The flaws really kicking in.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say everyone knows, but the court knows.
Let's keep it that way, please. Please.
So, the mention of sulfur piqued interest.
Yes.
Anyone we know that might fit the odorous bill, as it were?
No. You don't find an infernalist and leave them alive.
That's the
But there
terminology.
could always be potential suspects. people that might be suspected of being potentially, but not yet proven.
We don't have a list of suspects because we had no inkling that there was an infernalism problem in this domain.
This is the opening, lifting up the rock and seeing what crawls out from underneath
Yes.
stage of things.
Yes.
Fantastic.
We haven't had an infernalist in Washington, D.C. in over 100 years. And the last one was executed quite quickly.
That seems odd.
I will
given the
say-
area.
With the vision, it was specifically someone who was haloed in light, but also had sulfur. Fox?
The light was red, halo-esque, and it was like backdropped. Everything was black, so I couldn't see the face. It was just silhouetted, and I could smell the sulfur.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
Oh, okay. So you meant like a halo as in a circle of light, not like a halo.
No, that's what a halo is. That's what this is. That's a halo. I mean, I guess in the traditional church mythos, a halo is this, but actual halos in like church mythology were this.
Forgive me, I do not know much in the how the church
Don't worry,
likes
man.
to-
The only reason I know is because I tried being a Christian for a year. It didn't really work out, but I know what halos are now.
All right. So
Learn something new every night.
this halo does not necessarily mean holiness or
Right.
grace. It's just light.
It's more of a marker of supernatural. Like the whole thing of Lucifer.
Here's the thing. This is the problem with visions. You can't actually tell what's literal and what's interpretable. It could mean an infernal, whatever the fuck that means. I mean, I'm using context clues. Or it could mean...
I should clarify. An infernalist is a kindred, or anyone really, but we're more concerned with kindred, although we would be concerned with anyone, who has made a pact with a demon for some sort of game.
Oh.
They sign their name in the devil's book.
Yeah. They have
Gross.
strange powers, and they owe their souls to hell.
Yay.
I don't like that. Well, we don't know if it's... Thank you, by the way. That was a very succinct explanation. I appreciate it. We don't know if it's actually saying that, or if the halo implies something more general and vague. It didn't really... I can't really tell.
The harpy looks thoughtful for a moment and says, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but in classic symbolism, sulfur is generally associated with hell.
There's mentions of it in alchemical reference as well. Something about transmutation. I took a couple of mythology classes while I was going through college as electives.
If everyone would like to make me an intelligence... If everyone would like to make me an intelligence plus occult roll, difficulty 8...
Now I'm pulling all of my interpretation rolls, baby.
Sure. I'm rolling 2 dice total, but I guess I'll... Oh, shit.
Holy crap!
I got a 7 and a 10.
That is 4 successes from me.
That is 5 for me.
Nice.
Fuck, you're better at interpreting my visions than I am.
2.
shadow manipulation involves a cult. What can I tell you?
Fair.
And Kevin had
that
a
is
weird,
too just
weird
from
background.
intelligence. So I'm just putting the pieces together that you have mentioned to me now.
2 successes for me.
All right, so sulfur is used extensively as a symbol in alchemy. It is the fluid connecting the high and the low. It denotes expansive force and dissolution. But in most literary contexts, sulfur is usually associated with a whiff of brimstone. Brimstone generally being associated with hell, the underworld, volcanoes, things like that. And that's roughly what you get.
Yep. Hellfire and brimstone. That fits.
So, do we really think it might be something?
We're operating under potential scenarios. The way I see it.
Right.
Scenario 1. This devil kindred is a straw man, whether used by the hunters or used by somebody wanting to point the hunters in our direction. In which case, we need to eliminate the hunter cell as quickly as possible and root out whoever the heck is trying to pull this nonsense. Option 2. There actually is an infernalist operating here, and somebody is going a weird roundabout way in order to pull hunters to try to smoke them out. Basically, put enough pressure that it forces them to come to the surface so they can get killed. Or option 3, there is an infernalist, and somehow the hunters figured out what was going on before we did, and they're sending crash test dummies to poke the hornet's nest in order to get that infernalist to come out, and they're going to kill it once they bring the heavy in.
But the hunters were acting on someone else's command or someone else's direction.
Because there's probably somebody higher up who might have known about the infernalist if we're operating under option 3, and they sent the crash test dummies in order to smoke them out. And once they get smoked out, they send the heavy hitters in and kill anybody they find.
A point of note. These college kids, I don't necessarily think those guys are experienced enough to be called hunters just yet. So we have some independent contractors.
Yeah,
I also don't think they were smoking out anyone. I don't think that's what they were
like
doing.
I said, they're crash test dummies. They were designed to provoke a response with potentially the hope of stirring the hornet's nest.
You said there were other people in the vision box.
Yeah.
Combining your 2 visions. What if the person guiding the crowd in that vision is the individual of note that is the center main thread for that web?
It makes sense.
No, the person... The hunter... I shouldn't call her that. The person that we grabbed that seemed a bit more competent was the tie into this deeper interconnection web. Leia, do I remember if that web led back to another person?
It led outwards with many nodes.
It sort of spread outward into different directions with many different nodes. So she was connected to one person, and that one person was connected everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You also said you had a vision about a turnstile, too? With something about the turnstile being the key?
Because of the Metro cards.
Yeah.
All of you, I will allow you to make an intelligence plus technology, difficulty 7.
Intelligence plus technology.
Yep.
Okay. Do. Hey, difficulty 7?
Yes.
Yippee! I got 4 successes out of my
right.
5 dice pool.
Nice.
4 successes from me, unfortunately.
All right.
3 for your boy.
All right. Tom, did you get any?
1.
Okay.
I didn't fail.
So, Box and Kevin, you realize that the turnstiles are all connected to a computer system because it logs where you get in on the train, and then it knows where you started, so it can charge you the right amount when you scan to get out.
Okay. And if we
Which
know about the
means
college
which means there is a log of where your trip started and where your trip ended.
Okay, then that's our next step. We get into one of those. We get into one of the metro stops where they have a server hub. We get access in there and pull that information.
And we might be able to find out where they left to.
Exactly.
That's what that vision meant. I just thought I lost my keys again. Sometimes I get.
No, you're fine. That actually is our thread.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Thank you for mentioning it. By the way, I had completely forgotten.
No, you're fine. Basically, I know the time when we were flagged, which means if, quite frankly, given kind of credentials and our skill set, I'm probably going to be the one who could walk in there. Walk in there.
Perfect.
Okay, we're good.
We have our information we need. We have everything. I think we are able to sneak out of here now. And I think we should leave.
Sounds like a plan.
We should. Well, let's be polite. Be. Also, who was the woman? He says this in character. Who was the woman who's fighting with the guy who's squealing like a chipmunk?
That.
You know what?
I
don't think it's important. We've
no,
clearly
really
have
quickly.
something more important to do.
No, just really quickly.
Oh boy.
Kate was her name, right?
That's
Keeper?
Kat.
Yeah.
Kat.
Catalina.
You
Catalina
know what?
Banderas.
Can you
Fox,
check in on?
You have been so vulnerable and said so much tonight.
Really
I'll give you something. That's my grandsire. Now let's leave.
No, very fast. And he turns to the keeper and says, "Can you check in on them, please?"
Yeah, hang on, give me a sec. And as you say that...
No, wait, you don't need to do this now. He's like later.
as you say that, you hear a shout escalate into a bestial roar. As you look back over, and everyone make me It's going to be a strange roll to recognize this, but I'd like you to roll me intelligence plus self-control.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good one for me.
Okay, I can actually do this.
Well,
so weirdly a good
maybe
one.
not the best. Difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
You suck.
Mm-hmm. 1? Okay.
1.
3 for Kevin.
All right.
You said difficulty 7?
6.
Difficulty 6. 6.
Yeah, that man just frenzied.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I look to Maisie and I look to the Scourge and I go,
And as soon as you hear that shout, you feel the air shift as suddenly Maisie is moving very, very, very quickly, inhumanly quickly, across the room and grabs the man by the throat.
You know what? I was trying to leave before, but that may be our cue to leave.
Let's go.
Zombie!
And you mosey the hell out of there. As you see the Scourge walking over towards him, and you don't see what happens after that.
I don't
Yeah.
want to.
I'm gonna wave goodbye to. I'm gonna wave goodbye to
do
Malloy.
very
Like, have fun.
intentionally walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to draw any attention on myself
My
while all this is going on.
looking ass is dashing the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that.
My 6 humanity looking ass is waving goodbye to Malloy. I'm just like, have fun.
yep. Just noping straight out of that situation. It looks like they have to take care of. There is no reason for me to get involved in this.
I love how everybody's like, yeah, let's not deal with the frenzy brawl, and I'm just like, I just don't want to be seen by my progenitors.
We're not allowed to throw hands in here, so I'm not throwing hands.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah.
I know my strengths, and that not one of them.
Fair. We have our limits.
Apparently,
I mean,
that one didn't know theirs.
I'm sure we'll hear about it on the next evening.
Yeah, that'll be the talk. That'll be the talk of the circle. Oh God.
As we're leaving, I send Maisie a text. Hope all goes well.
You don't get an immediate response.
Oh no, I know I'm not going to get a response. This is a text that they'll respond to maybe later.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. It just says, hope everything goes well with that. We decided to cut out while all things were looking away. If you need anything, you know how to get a hold of me.
All right. And
With
where
a
are
little
you all
hug
heading
emoji,
from?
just because.
Mm-hmm. And where are you heading from there?
How much time do we still have in the night?
It's getting to be around 4 a.m.
Then I think our best bet is to disperse to our havens and then link back up at a later point in which we could actually infiltrate one of those hubs to be able to track down what's going on in Carlos Park.
All right. So, you all disperse to your havens for the night. It has been a busy one. You've made quite a few contacts and seen some shenanigans. And you have this idea planted in your head of what if there's an infernalist in the domain of DC? And with that, we'll end this episode of Lovely Little Dolls. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you join us again next time. Have a good night.